lovelies, it's Miss Lady Lace here on my Pinup Glamour channel and Pinup Glamour podcast, and today I have for you a fabulous tutorial where I'm going to be demonstrating how you can style the Dafna Beauty scarf in a few different ways. If you're a long-time glamorous friend, welcome back, and if you're new here, I share tips and tutorials on pinup, burlesque and the vintage lifestyle, so if you love any of these things, be sure to subscribe. Recently I did an unboxing for Dafna Beauty. She sent me some fabulous lipsticks as well as a scarf. I have made a video unboxing and trying these, and I unboxed the scarf as well, but I wanted to make a dedicated video really showcasing how to style this because it is just such a beautiful item. The scarf is in a beautiful pink and red tone with a lovely print featuring a hand-holding lipsticks embossed with the little D for Dafna. It is Dafna Beauty and vintage with a twist written on it too. So today I'm going to break down a few fabulous looks and we'll get right into that. Today we're going to get started with a lazy hair day look. So this is going to be an updo as I'm about to wash my hair. For this look you'll of course need Dafna's fabulous headscarf, a paddle brush, dividing comb and smoothing brush. With the smoothing brush we want that to have bristles to smooth down that hair nice and easily. And you'll need lots of bobby pins too. I'm going to be using both my short ones and my long ones today too. To begin we'll just give our hair a lovely brush out, making sure it's nice and knot free. I'll divide my usual front section to style whatever you want at the front. You could just all pull this back, but I like having a victory roll or something at the front. So I've got my side part already rocking. I'm going to take another side part going back and then just connecting that around like so. And we'll just pin this out of the way for now. I'll brush the back section one more time just to make sure that I've really separated that hair and it's all nice and knot free. With majority of my styling we're working from back to front, so we're starting with this large back section here. And realistically you can pin this any way that is just going to get your hair up and out of the way, so it's just kind of secure and sitting up like so. We don't want too much bulk on the bottom of the hair as that'll really change the look of this style, so we really want most of the bulk to be on the top of the head. For me, I'm going to do kind of like a variation of a French roll. It's not something I would usually do in my everyday styling, and by no means does this need to be perfect as this is going to be covered by our headscarf. I'm just going to start by taking a bit of hairspray either side along the edge of my hairline, and I'm just going to brush down with my bristle brush, just catching any flyaways in this section. As where the headscarf will sit, we'll have this little edge just visible. And then just going to brush up on a slightly higher angle, almost like I'm going to tie a ponytail, and I'm going to pull this out into one direction. And I'm going to grab fingers around the back of the hair, wrapping that in and rolling that in towards my head. So doing that again, grabbing the end, wrapping around, and then I'm rolling that into my head to create kind of a faux French roll. Once I've got that sitting nice and firmly, I want to make sure I keep a hold of that until it's completely pinned in place. So I'm going to grab some bobby pins and just start securing that hair down. And you'll probably need quite a few bobby pins to achieve this. I'm focusing along the top section first, as that's where there's quite a lot of the ends of the hair. And then I'm going to go through the back and just catch any edges where I feel the hair is feeling a little bit loose. Remembering this part isn't going to be seen, it's going to be under that headscarf, so you don't need to worry about being too neat. Taking my palm and my hairspray, I'm just going to neaten it along the edges of the hairline, as this is where hair may stick out. Next we'll take out the front section to style a victory roll, but you don't need to do this, you could just pin this back. You could style an S-curl coming down, you could do any variation of styling on this front section. I'm going to start by brushing it out, then brushing on a nice high angle and applying my teasing. Using my C method of pressing down with a C motion, so I'm not just doing this quickly backwards and forwards because that's just knotting the hair. Smoothing out with my bristle brush next. Adding in a bit of hairspray and continuing to smooth. Holding on a slightly higher angle, I'm going to grab 2 fingers and wrap my hair around that. Then continue to roll that in towards my face. pinning into position by catching the edge of that roll and securing it against the scalp. I've used the larger, longer pins on the bottom, and I'm going to take a smaller pin and run that through the center, adding a bit more hairspray. And I can smooth that with my palm again, or use the bottom of the brush to tuck in any flyaways. We're now at the section where we're going to add in this fabulous headscarf, and we're going to be covering the back section with this scarf. So we're going to start with the wrong side of the scarf. So we have the shiny printed side and the side that has the transfer through of the print. We're going to have that towards us, and we're going to have a corner facing the top, where we're just going to fold in the corner just a little bit to create a flat edge. This flat edge I'm going to put to the back of my head. So I've got two edges either side and a corner facing the front. As I'm doing this, I want to keep a bit of tension, so I'm pressing into the back of my head. So I'm keeping this corner secure towards the nape of my neck. So we'll pop that on. I'm keeping that tension, and I'm going to pull that up towards the top of my head now. And I just want to play around to make sure that position is sitting beautifully. With this front corner that's sticking out, I'm just going to pull that off into one direction. And I'll take these two edges I'm already holding, and I'm going to tie a knot into place. And I'm just going to make sure that's not covering that victory roll too much. And this front corner I can pull a little bit just to make sure that is sitting nice and firmly. So I've got that knot tied. I'm going to pull this off into one direction. So that's that front corner pulled off to one side. And from here we could tie this in a number of different ways, but today I'm just going to tie a simple bow. And I'm just going to spend a bit of time fluffing that up until I'm happy with the way it looks. At this stage, to make sure this is sitting nice and secure, we can take some bobby pins and pin along the edges here. Now I'm running a little bit low on these, but I've actually taken some bobby pins and I've painted one edge of the pin in pink, and I've just simply done this with nail polish. I wouldn't recommend popping the nail polish on and then trying to stick this in. I'd paint this and let it dry for a few hours, but I can post up a tutorial for that if you'd like. But having that matching pin is just going to make this less visible on the edge. Does it matter if someone can see the hairpin on the side of your head? Not really. If it bothers you, you can definitely make these pink ones, but I find these really useful, especially for pinning my hats into place. For a bit more strength with a hairpin, I like to put one hairpin in and then another over the top to create an X formation. I find that's just a really strong anchor point, and that's not going to budge from there now. You can spend a bit of time fluffing this up and making sure that looks fabulous. And that's our first hairstyle complete. This same method could be used if you have your rollers in. You can simply just pop that headscarf on, tie it around in the same method we just did, tie a beautiful bow, and we are ready to pop out without having those hair curlers be too noticeable. For our next few hairstyles, you can have your hair styled in many different ways. I've got an angled bumper bang at the front and just my curls brushed out at the back. I'll link some tutorials below, but you can have your hair in any way, even if it's not in a pinup style. This can be a way to add a bit of pinup flair. Next, we're going to take our scarf and we're going to fold that in half diagonally. So we've got a nice big triangle here. If you have longer hair, you can bring that top triangle out a little bit so you've got a bit more fabric to work with. But essentially, we're going to take this and put that around our hair, and we can wrap this around and tie this beneath our chin. This is a perfect look for those windy or rainy days. If you want to protect your curls and keep them all locked in, and when you get to an event, you can simply take that down and just tie this around your neck or pop it on in some other fashion. This look also works perfectly with a pair of fabulous sunglasses. Next, we'll take this off. And we're going to keep this corner to corner look, but I'm going to take the top corner and I'm going to start to roll down from here, trying to keep this relatively firm and taut. And I'm going to continue rolling that until I have a really long piece of fabric. So essentially it will look like this. We're going to tie our usual pinup headscarf. So I'm just going to take that behind my head and I'm going to have the center point at the nape of my neck, and I'm going to pull up either side behind my ears. And as I've got an angle bumper bang, I think I'm just going to angle this off into one direction. So I'm tying behind the bumper bang. If you have another style at the front, I'd just tie it behind, or if you have no style at all, I'd just put it a little bit further back so it's not too far forward on the front of your head. So I've tied a knot, we'll then tie a bow, fluffing that up and making the bow look all nice and pretty. And there we have a fabulous headscarf look. I'd really spend a bit of time fluffing this up so we have as much of that pattern visible as possible. Lastly for today, we're going to undo that scarf. I'm going to just lower that down to our neck, and I'm simply going to tie either just a single knot, or you could tie a bow, and I'm going to fluff up these edges so that print is nice and visible. And you could wear this a little bit more centrally, like a cravat if you had a cute little jacket on, but I'm gonna just pop this off to the side here. And then we have a really cute neckerchief look, which is super fabulous. I think this would look really cute with a shirt like this and some capri pants, perfect for a rockabilly festival. This has been my tutorial sharing just a few fabulous ways you can style the Dafna Beauty headscarf. I'd love to know in the comments below which was your favorite, and if I didn't feature a styling method today, how would you like to wear this scarf? I truly hope you've enjoyed today's video and found it a little bit useful. If you have, be sure to give it a like and a comment, as that really does help me out. And if there's any other videos you'd like to see, do let me know in the comments below. To stay up to date with all my daily pinup adventures, I post super regularly to Instagram and TikTok. Simply follow @MissLadyLace and be sure to drop me a message so I can follow you back too. To never miss out on one of these videos or podcasts, be sure to subscribe, and I will be seeing you all real soon. Stay glamorous!